St. Vincent, this is Channel 8 News.
Everyone. Along with Kacie McCormick and Stephanie Cruz, I'm Chris Sumo, and this is Channel 8 News. We have breaking news out of Toledo, Ohio this afternoon, where a high school is on lockdown during a standoff between police and a student with a gun. Scott High School is the location of an intense showdown between local police and an armed 15-year-old student who has locked himself alone inside a classroom. Police are on the scene with negotiators and are attempting to resolve the situation while other students are on lockdown, being told to take shelter in their classrooms. Authorities were first notified of an armed student walking the hallways of the school around 9:30 this morning and arrived shortly afterwards. Police and school administrators are asking parents to stay away from the school until the situation can be resolved. We will bring you more updates from this story as it develops. Kacie?
A Metro North train derailed early Sunday morning. The train was going from Poughkeepsie to Grand Central Station when it derailed going around a sharp curve in the Bronx. All 7 of the train cars left the tracks in the accident. An estimated 150 people were aboard the train. 4 people have been found dead from the accident, 3 of which had been ejected from the train during the crash. 60 people suffered injuries, with 11 in critical condition. The train operator was injured but is expected to survive. Investigators are looking into the cause of the crash and hope to interview the crew in the next few days. They are looking into the speed of the train, the condition of the track and train, human error, and signaling problems. This tragedy marks the first deaths in the Metro North's 31-year history. Stephanie?
A plane crashed near a town in western Alaska killed 4 of the 10 people on board. The pilot and 3 passengers died on the crash Friday night. The spokeswoman, Ms. Peters, said she had received no information about the 6 survivors. The spokeswoman for the Air Alaska Airlines said single-engine turboprop 208 was flying from Bethel to Mountain Village and St. Mary's. The remains were found about 4 miles east of St. Mary's, and state troopers and an ambulance service responded to the scene. Investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board, Clint Johnson, said an emergency beacon helped locate the crash site. The cause of the crash has not been determined. Kacie?
Just a few hours into Black Friday sales, the hashtag Walmart Fights began trending on Twitter. People were encouraged by this to upload pictures and videos of shoppers becoming violent at Walmart stores across the country. Pictures and videos of bloody noses, paramedics wheeling stretchers around, women fighting, security guards wrestling customers, and employees yelling at people to stop filming appeared online throughout the day. One Walmart shopper claimed that he was kicked out of a store for filming a fight. The hashtag was a sign of mounting violence of the day. Walmart spokeswoman Brooke Buchanan said that it has been the safest Black Friday, other than a few isolated incidents, which were taken care of by store associates and local law enforcement. The company is happy with its safety plans and how they worked. In just a 4-hour period, about 22 million shoppers were in Walmart stores. No fatalities have been reported from the day. Chris?
We have breaking news from the standoff between an armed student and police in Toledo, Ohio. The armed student has been taken into custody without anyone being injured, according to local police. After an initial standoff between the student and police that forced the school to a lockdown, the student has been taken into custody and students from Scott High School have been released. Lieutenant Mark King, a spokesperson for the Toledo Police Department, has said teachers at the school followed protocol and isolated students from the armed teenager who was eventually brought in. Again, no injuries have been reported. Stephanie?
The star of the Fast and Furious movie series, Paul Walker, was killed in a car crash in Los Angeles. A publicist for Walker said the actor died on Saturday afternoon and that no further details were released. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said 2 people were killed in the Fury car crash in the community of Valencia. A statement on the actor's Facebook page said he was a passenger in a friend's car. Officials said when deputies arrived at the crash around 3:30 p.m., they found the vehicle surrounded in flames. Both Walker and the other passenger were declared dead at the scene. The actor's Twitter account confirmed his death Saturday evening. Kacie?
U.S. and Chinese officials announced the name of the rare female giant panda on Sunday at the Smithsonian's National Zoo in Washington. After a public online vote, the panda's name was chosen to be Bao Bao, which translates into treasure. The vote offered 5 different names and drew more than 123,000 votes. The name was revealed on the cub's 100th day of life, keeping in tradition with Chinese traditions for naming babies. Music, dancing, and Chinese treats were served in celebration of the cubs. Born on August 23rd, Bao Bao will be kept from the public until she is old enough to leave the den, which is estimated to be early 2014. At the age of 4, Bao Bao will be moved to the Chinese Conservation and Research Center in Wolong, China. Stephanie?
On Sunday, the Obama administration said that it had met its goal for improving the website healthcare.gov. The website is now working more than 90% of the time, up from the 40% during some weeks in October. The website is the main channel for people looking to buy insurance under President Obama's healthcare law. The Obama advisor leading the website repair effort said consumers were having a much better experience now than in early October. In a progress and performance report, the administration summarized 5 weeks of anxious activity to repair the website and undo the damage to Mr. Obama's political standing. The Department of Health and Human Services said that after the repair, 50,000 people can use the website simultaneously and that pages fail to load well under 1% of the time. According to the report, much progress in the past 5 weeks resulted from radical changes in the management of healthcare.gov. Technology experts concluded that healthcare.gov was a fixable bug only with significant changes to the management approach and a persistent focus on the execution. Kacie?
New Jersey's former ugliest dog died unexpectedly on Thanksgiving at the age of 8. Elwood, the Chihuahua and Chinese crested mix, was voted the ugliest dog in 2007. He was rescued by his owner, Karen Quigley, in 2005. The breeder thought the dog was too ugly to sell and planned to euthanize him when Quigley saved him. Elwood became an online darling and developed a worldwide fan base after receiving his title. He became the topic of a children's book that preached acceptance. The book showed children that it was okay to be different. Elwood appeared at over 200 charity events in his lifetime that helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for animal rescue groups and nonprofit animal organizations. Elwood had developed health issues over the last few months that ultimately took his life on Thanksgiving morning. Quigley said that he made people laugh and feel good and that he will truly be missed. Chris?
A man was killed after an altercation in the parking lot of Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City yesterday during the game between the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. 3 people have been taken into custody as a result of the incident, but authorities and team officials are maintaining this was not any kind of rivalry-induced fan fight. The fight occurred during the game approximately 90 minutes after kickoff during yesterday's game, but police are not saying yet what they believe was the exact cause of the fight. Kansas City Police Department spokesman Darren Snapp said that they are investigating the incident as a homicide until evidence proves differently. The altercation took place exactly 1 year to the day that Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Jovan Belcher took his own life in the parking lot of a team facility after killing his girlfriend. Stephanie?
The Knicks suffered their 9th consecutive loss last night against the New Orleans Pelicans. They trailed the Pelicans by 4 points as the clock ticked away Sunday at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks missed three shot attempts during the final 30 seconds and lost 103-99. This is their longest losing streak since April 2006 when Larry Brown was their coach. The Knicks have lost 7 straight games at home. This loss to the Pelicans leaves the Knicks in a tie for last place in the Eastern Conference. The loss also came despite New Orleans losing its best player, Anthony Davis, after the first quarter. Knicks coach Mike Woodson said he thought they played well last night, but it wasn't good enough. Chris?
Well, the holiday season officially began in New York City this weekend with the arrival of Santa Claus at the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Santa rounded out the caravan of floats that marched through the streets of Manhattan, spreading cheer and happiness to the crowd. Bad weather threatened to ground some of the floats, but the parade continued as planned and marked the beginning of the Christmas season in New York. Kacie?
A mother and daughter were killed Saturday evening when a truck crashed into a horse-drawn buggy in Amish country. The driver of the buggy, husband of the woman who was killed, was injured and flown to St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Youngstown, Ohio. The accident occurred in Mercer County, about 60 miles away from Pittsburgh. Lawrence County police were called to assist officials with the accident. The condition of the truck driver is unavailable, and state police are investigating the crash. A late-night fight broke out on Rikers Island Friday night. The city's primary jail, located in the Long Island Sound, holds about 12,000 inmates. A correction department spokesman said the brawl broke out at the George Verino Center. Officers responded to the fight within minutes after it began. 4 officers were treated for exposure to an unknown chemical agent, and several inmates were treated for minor injuries. The cause of the brawl is not clear and is under investigation. Chris?
The Indian Space and Research Organization launched its Mars Orbiter mission today from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India. It is India's first interplanetary expedition. The Mars Orbiter mission also goes by the name of Magellan, which means Mars craft in Hindi. Only 3 other space agencies have made it to Mars: NASA, the Russian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency. The Indian Mars rover is expected to reach the red planet on September 24th, 2014. For all of us here at Channel 8 News, thanks for watching.